Well, I think after that initial shock, people have realised that, like it or not, Brexit's here to stay. So we're going to have to work with it. And I think people are now starting to look at, actually, it may present more opportunities than threats. And certainly the presentation I'd done this morning was all about looking at weaknesses, looking at threats and turning those into strengths and opportunities. There are still markets within Europe and around the rest of the world. We export more currently to the rest of the world than we do to Europe. And there's no reason why that should change. And in fact, we should be able to take more advantage and more control over those markets. From an international trade point of view, just looking at the southwest, or Dorset and the southwest, unlike many regions of the country, we don't have one big strength. You can't say we're the region for automotive or we're the region for name a sector. But we are strong, as we just alluded to, on aerospace. We are strong locally on creative industries, digital media and so on. We've got a strong food and drink cluster, albeit smaller end businesses. We've got a strong education and training cluster. I mentioned automotive. There is a pocket of automotive activity within the southwest. Services, we export more services probably from the southwest than we do from other regions. So if we took the southwest as a snapshot, as an example, actually we're pretty good in all sectors. So there's no reason, as I would see it, why any one sector should particularly shine, or indeed why any one sector would struggle.
I can only speak as a lender and what we see through our lens. Teachers Building Society is probably going to have its best year ever. It's got its largest pipeline of new business, and we're not alone. Most of the other building societies are echoing the same thing. If I look at the commercial portfolio that we have, the small commercial portfolio, talking to hoteliers, they're having a really good time. Even those that had language schools that fill them up at the off-peak times have replaced it with others. Our engineering firms are doing really well. So on the whole, the businesses that we touch are reporting some very strong feedback.
To answer the question, what does government want to hear? Any concerns or observations you have about the process and where we might end up is what government wants to hear.
I think Brexit's a huge opportunity for companies to actually grasp things and use, because we can still trade with Europe, we can trade for the rest of the world, we can get things set up in the rest of the world, and we're in control of our own destiny again.
It won't be the same. That's the first thing you've got to realise. And I think we see Australians, Japanese, American students coming to Europe and to Britain. So, why can't UK students go to Europe? But it may be difficult. It may be harder. So I think it's about what can we do to help those students figure that out and try and find a pathway that they can get to those opportunities still.
The opportunity is now to maintain relationships, maintain dialogues with people we're already doing business with, and branch out and look to strengthen relationships and do more. Those relationships shouldn't be allowed to die. We still have skills and expertise that people overseas should still want to buy, and we need to make sure that we pitch it right, package it right, and sell it right.
Most of the things that I deal with are uncertainties about finance, and obviously with the Brexit situation people are more worried about how that will impinge on their finances, on their business growth. But the day-to-day issues are still going on, and they're still looking for help because, as we said before, the businesses are very bad at thinking about money. A lot of small businesses tend to ignore the fact and then suddenly go, oh, I need to pay the wages, or oh, I've got to pay the VAT. So we tend to get called in at the last minute, and Brexit's just added an extra dimension to the worry. Knowing a financier who will give them a loan, or knowing a network or where to go, is where we can help, really. That's what we can do.
But I think the main messages that have come out from me this morning is a positive one, is that although we don't know the full impact of Brexit, there are still grounds for us to be optimistic, and basically we have to get on with it.